Great good morning, everyone. It is a beautiful Thursday, October 23rd, a year of our Lord 2025. My Cordaro Jewelers watch tells me it's 9/11 and change. Broadcasting today from the United States of America. I can prove it because we're actually making the White House better without taxpayers' dollars. It's also the place for the brave. Like the veterans we salute today, thanks to our man John Basiliga and his great Basiliga hospitality companies. Like Ronald Gosart Laughlin, Ed Christina, late of Fredericksburg, Virginia, but he was from West Hazleton. George Butch Katzak, Luzerne, Joseph Bassar, Hanover Township, Louis Forlenza, West Pittston, and John Rinko, Wilkes-Barre. The United States of America, the country founded by these incredible, knowledgeable, deep-thinking founding fathers, understanding that government is not, shall not be, cannot be our parent, our guide, our direction, our salvation. Not any of these things, but is nothing more than a necessary evil we require to organize and protect society. The United States of America, the country where, for the first time in human history, freedom was declared to be an unalienable right, granted to each individual by God. It was not something to be parceled out to groups. It could not be controlled by government or government officials because our great American Constitution ensures and codifies freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of association, economic freedom, and freedom of the press. Now, armed with these freedoms, a ragtag bunch of immigrants, rejects, and their progeny created the richest, most powerful, most culturally diverse and accepting nation ever to grace our planet Earth. America, the only place specifically invented and designed so that every American can live their life in the manner they choose, unlimited by their background, upbringing, race, color, or creed, unhindered by the government, or, more dangerously, those who would use government to control others for their own comfort, benefit, or power. This Bob Cordaro show, well, it'll always be convincingly conservative, lovingly logical, proudly and passionately patriotic, and reliably right. And yes, the double entendre is intended. And we also tell you our commitment to common sense. It will provide a sanctuary of sanity for all of you for the balance of this morning. So we gavel to order this meeting of the Club for Common Sense, promising you all of that and more, as they say. All right, so we're here. Bulldog, it's garbage day. Find me my song. Once again, I'm telling you, it's one of the miracles of life. My great DBW Scranton guys, and there are guys all over this region who took away, as this week went, they took away all the stuff you didn't want and didn't want to keep. Otherwise known as garbage. And they got it done for you. And I'm telling you, I can't tell you how happy it makes me. So thank you to all the DPW guys out there throughout this listening area and beyond. Thanks for doing what we need you to do. Thank you, guys and gals of the DPWs across the region. Yeah, guys, you look at what is going on. I was saying to someone today, John Fetterman, of all people, is proving what liars, what a disgrace, and how truly sick and diseased the Democrat Party has become. John Fetterman. Oh, they're going to make him pay for it. If they can. By the way, the Democrat Party might be taken over by normal people by then. It can happen. You like somebody like Mamdani, I apologize. And he tries. See, here's the thing. A lot of people say, well, let George Will, who I don't follow anymore. I don't know. He's lost his fastball by a mile. And I used to listen to everything he said. I listen to Victor David Hansen now. In any event, always listen to Thomas Sowell. But people are saying, well, let them have their communist, and let's see how it's going to work out. They don't understand, or they're not bothering to think about how New York City government actually works. And it goes back to a time, the 1970s, when New York City went bankrupt. The state had to bail them out. I believe it was Governor Nelson Rockefeller at the time. Abe Beame was the mayor of New York. And a lot of control and power were taken away from the city government. So there's not a lot that this guy can do except to continue to lard up New York City government to be the destructive force that it is. But it's not going to be an overnight, oh my God, the communist is in charge, what a nightmare. They'll actually be telling you, wow, look, it wasn't a nightmare. See, we told you. So I want you to remember this when the future happens. By the way, a lot of great articles coming out and analyses from Dick Morris, among many, many others. A lot of you have been sending them to me, and I've been finding them on my own as well, that show that if Cuomo got out of the race, and he's a slime ball, he was a horrible governor, he's a complete phony. But if Cuomo got out of the race, Sliwa would win. Virtually all of Cuomo's voters would go to Sliwa. And that would create its own momentum. And Sliwa's the only real New Yorker. He bleeds that city. He really does. And so, it's just crazy. We've got a mayor's race in Scranton, which is, again, we've always got the ingredients that will come to the fore elsewhere much later on. And so we've got basically a communist mayor. She's woke. She's left-wing lunatic. She's done nothing. The city's deteriorated under her watch, but she's been gifted from the federal government $69 million, and nothing has happened. Literally nothing. Rob O'Donnell sent me this, and I've gotten it from a bunch of other people. Mark Payne, our great city council candidate as well. They had an announcement about a wading pool, and there was water in it. A wading pool opening. I think swim season is over, Mayor. Are you that ridiculous? Are you that desperate? Are you that incompetent? Listen to this now. They had, I mean it, they had basically a ribbon cutting. A ribbon cutting for a pool opening on October 23rd because she couldn't get it done. It's insane. Couldn't get it done in 5 years. Wow. And by the way, all these things are for her campaign for Congress. She barely cares about the mayor's race. She doesn't care about being mayor. Being mayor was to become congressperson. So we've got our communist. Her only accomplishment is getting the urinals out of City Hall. At great cost, by the way. And my guy's Gene Barrett. He's been around. He's been in the military. He's accomplished in everything he's done. He's been in government. He can hit the ground running. Do you know, speaking of our great DPW, there's no DPW director. These guys are working without an actual boss, and they're working without a contract because this fool mayor cannot get it done, costing us hundreds of thousands of dollars in legal fees. It's remarkable. The incompetence is remarkable, but not surprising. And we'll have the same thing with Mamdani. These are people who have resumes, not accomplishments. That's our mayor. Not zero accomplishments in her career. But she's got a resume because she jumps every time she's going to get discovered. Now she's trying to jump to Congress before most people, she's hoping. I think they're going to discover it in time. I certainly hope so. That she's been an awful mayor, she could jump onto the next lily pad. Crazy stuff. And New York City facing the same thing. And here we are with a $30 million plan for the downtown to put in bike lanes for bikes that are not traversing our streets for safety that we already have. And she wants to put in stop signs instead of lights. It's unbelievable. Crazy, crazy people. These are crazy people. They are. And no less than John Fetterman calling the Democrat Party out as liars and phonies. Yep. And by the way, the reason they need the $400 billion of the $1.5 trillion they're trying to spend is because Obamacare is an utter, complete failure. It cannot work. It is not working. It's crushing all of us who have private health insurance with our deductibles and with the prices of our premiums. It's insane. What is the Democrat solution every time they fail at something? Oh, give us more. Yeah. All right, we'll take a break. Bob Cordaro, WILK. We'll be back. Dion, Murph tells us, up to #1 with his hit, not Murph's hit, Dion's, Run Around Sue, this date 1961. By the way, the Palucci's, Cutie, and I went to Ragnacci's last night, and there was Murph. Ran into some, as always, some great characters. We sit at the bar. I'm generally not a guy who sits at the bar, but at Ragnacci's I love to. Because then I'm closest to Murph. I get to talk to him, and even though he's always very busy. But a great evening, and we got home early. And then I forgot to take my garbage out. Like I had one of the cans out. And I realized early this morning, oh my God, the garbage. Normally I'd go back to sleep for another 20 minutes. I had to go out and take care of the garbage for our guys. And our guys came right as rain. And it's all gone now. But anyway, Ragnacci's was great last night. Brian Hughes has come into the studio. What do you got, Brian?
Well, Bob, just
wait. Give him a mic now, Bulldog. There we go.
All right. Yeah, Bob. Hanover Area Elementary School, Lee Park Elementary, is dismissing right about now, 9:30, just due to a water leak issue. So I just want to let parents know about that if they're not already aware. More than likely they are. So Lee Park Elementary School dismissing at 9:30 due to a water leak issue.
Okay. Nothing more serious than that, though.
That's about it.
All right.
You didn't bring any food from Ragnacci's? You didn't bring any takeout? Nothing?
Well, they give you so much. I have leftovers for today's lunch.
I think I had the chicken cordon bleu when I was there, and it's unbelievable.
Yeah, good stuff. Or Bobby was there, my old football coaches. He and Dip Donato, two of my old football coaches from high school.
Oh, there was nothing left then.
Roy Davis. There was all kinds of characters.
I'll bet.
All right. Well, thank you, Brian, for that. It was just a nice evening, but then I don't know, I just forgetting to do things, and I'm saying to myself, should I start trying to take Prevagen or something? We'll see. Somebody texts in, Bob, be careful if you have ribbons in your home. Ribbons and cameras make our mayor appear. Now, someone did this before, same person. They've got to be kidding me. It's got to be sarcastic. Bobby Page put some beautiful ball courts in. It was a nice accomplishment and approved for the city, whatever that means. Yeah, that's what she did in 5 years. We got a couple of pickleball courts. There's your accomplishment. Wow. All right, so pickleball courts and getting rid of the urinals in City Hall so we can have unisex bathrooms. Oh, and keeping people out of City Hall. That was an accomplishment, too. Joe from Trips Park says, we've been robbed of our pools at Naog, and the thief left a splash pad for toddlers. Worse yet, they celebrated the finishing of the splash pad while wearing coats because we're past pool season. Why even waste the money on the water at that stage? Because the mayor's got to look like she's done something. And you could go in that entire area. It's uninhabitable. It's unusable. And yeah, we're opening a pool in October, late October. She's just so good. We'll take a break. Bob Cordaro, WILK. We'll be back with our Veterans Tribute and more on the Bob Cordaro Show. Our veterans this hour and every hour, this day and every day, brought to you by our friend John Basiliga and his great Basiliga Hospitality Company. Bar restaurants, the best. The Old Brook Inn, 307 Springbrook Township. I love it there. Absolutely love it there. Far Street Tavern. Oh, another great place. The Great Trips Park section of West Scranton, it's the heart of that entire neighborhood. Queen City Tavern, my old hometown Oliphant. Awesome. Check it out. Then we go to fine dining. For a modern take, understated New York, a Terra 519, right in downtown Scranton. For old world feel, the Stegmeyer Mansion on South Franklin Street, Wilkes-Barre, the best. Oh, tonight, Sergei's will be open. No cover charge. The best nightclub in the region. You want to check out a movie this weekend? Scranton Art House, downtown Scranton. Movies, the best adult beverages and food as you sit and watch. Edward Joseph Christina. He died October 2nd at age 85. He was at home, surrounded by his family. He was living in Fredericksburg, Virginia. Born in West Hazleton, he grew up there with his 4 beloved brothers. He loved sports. He played on the football, basketball, and baseball teams at West Hazleton High School, graduating in 1958. He earned an appointment to the U.S. Naval Academy and graduated from their class of 64. And believe me, that's an incredible accomplishment. After his naval service, he embarked on a career as an engineer for the Department of Defense and settled in Fredericksburg. He was an avid fisherman, especially enjoying fishing trips to Canada with his brothers. He loved golf, and he was a good one. He coached youth soccer. He leaves to cherish his memory his wife of 60 years, the former Virginia McQuaid, their son, their daughter, grandchildren, and his brothers also survive him. Ed Christina. Ronald Gossart. He was from Laughlin. Born in Wilkes-Barre, we lost him October 12th. One of 4 children. He grew up at Harvey's Lake and was a graduate of Lake Lehman High School. He was an Army veteran who proudly served in Vietnam. After his service, he spent many years living in Florida. He worked as a cook all over the place, including time with the Tobyhanna Army Depot. Ronald enjoyed the outdoors. He loved to hunt, fish, metal detecting on the beaches of Florida. Preceded in death by his first wife, the former Lottie Freeman. Surviving her as wife of 49 years, the former Maureen Ottaviani McIntosh, who lovingly cared for him during his 30 years of declining health. Also surviving a daughter, a son, and grandchildren. He'll be buried at Lehman Cemetery, Lehman, PA. Ronald Gossart. Our great veterans this hour brought to you by John Basiliga and Basiliga Hospitality. Storm Tracker 16 forecast from meteorologist Joe Snedeker. Today, cloudy and breezy, spotty showers, 53 degrees. Tonight, partly cloudy, 40. Friday, a mix of clouds and sun with a spotty shower. He's still holding to that prediction of 53 degrees. Saturday, mix of clouds and sun, 55. Sunday, more sun than clouds, 55. And it's currently 50 degrees outside our studio. All right, we got some callers online. By the way, Lackawanna, my friend Joe B., he reminds me that there's a Lackawanna County Commissioners debate tonight. And one of those candidates who will be there is Tom Welby, running as the nominee of the Democrat Party. Tom, how are you?
Very well, young man. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm better since you called me young man.
No, that's true. It's true. Anytime you don't feel that way, stand next to me.
Yeah. Well, you look younger than ever. Get out of here.
Just listening as I was on hold there to your tribute to Mr. Gosser, which is just wonderful that you do that, and also that John Basselig and his company support and allow for that.
Yeah.
That was really nice to listen to.
I tell you what, I get, as they say, verklempt almost every time, every hour we do it. When we talk about the show, if we learn something, if we laugh, if we become outraged, and if we get a little tear, we've had a good show. And the veterans make sure that we have a good show every time.
Amen.
Yeah. So tell me, you're running for county commissioner. Now, you were a state representative for a bit. You worked in Harrisburg in the House of Representatives as well. Is this your first time to run for office?
Well, I did work for the State House of Representatives through Marty Flynn when he was a rep, and then more recently for Bridget Kozarowski with her as a rep.
Okay.
And I didn't intend to do that when I retired from WNEP back in November of 2011. I just wanted to do public service work, and that was my intention.
Well, you did.
Yeah, and actually, I was convinced to go into that because I was in the conversation with some of Marty's people at the time. I said, no, I don't want any part of it. I just want to, while I can, before that bus that's out there looking for me runs me down, I wanted to get my public service time in and help people while I could. And seeing so many people even younger than myself passing away, and I just wanted to get that done. And one of the points they kept trying to make to me is, Tom, if you're trying to get some public service work done, you call somebody up and you say, yeah, it's Tom Welby calling. You say, who do you think is going to call you back? But if you call him up and say, it's Tom Welby, Chief of Staff for Pennsylvania State Representative Marty Flynn, says you'll get a lot more done. And they were right. And I was able to help not just the things that I wanted to work on, the public service projects, the trails, and all the different things that I like. People coming in the office, and our philosophy then was, and it was the same with Bridget, in that short time that I was in there, you don't ask them who they are. You don't ask them what party they are. You don't ask them where they live. And it doesn't matter if it's a city problem, a county problem, a state problem, or a federal problem. The philosophy was just help them. Just be quiet and help them. And that's what I really liked. And it was nice to be able to get paid to help people. Now, granted, not as much as I made in TV, but it was nice to be paid to help people.
Yeah.
And then I was planning on retiring again, which would have been the third time that I tried. But this came up, the county commissioner thing, and there's so many things that are going on right now in the city and county that I'd like to see changed. And one of them that got me going was the 33% tax increase, which was insane to burden people like that. But they weren't left with a whole lot of choice with the way the finances were left when that administration came in. But I went for it, and now I'd like to go in and fight for a few things and then try to retire again.
Tom, what are your main goals as county commissioner?
Well, for the first, if we can, is to pause the reassessment thing. I have people, you talk about veterans. My next door neighbor, this guy Sam, he's a 94-year-old Korean War veteran. His tax
Tom, you got to get it.
which,
You got to get his information to me to do a veterans salute, because so many of them we do are after they pass. I'd love to. Love it when we could do it when they're still with us.
Sam and Sam would be a great one. I mean, we've lost so many of our World War II veterans, and now we're losing all of our Korean War veterans and even our Vietnam veterans. But Sam's, his assessment previously was $16,000. Now it's $206,000. And he has no idea, because the millage isn't set yet, he has no idea what that means in the way of what his taxes are going to be. Mm-hmm. To do all of this and to do it in the manner in which it was done, I think it borders, well, certainly not criminal, but gosh darn, pretty close to it. And so many other people. I talked to some farmers who's had a barn that all of a sudden is assessed at near $1 million, and he says, The barn is an outdated building to begin with. There are no more cow pastures that it previously served, and so many other people that have been affected by this, not having any idea whatsoever what their tax is going to be. just this fear that it's going to be way up, and at a time that they have the 33% burden thrown on them, and all our utility bills going up, and heating bills this winter going through the roof, and food costs going up. It's just, we should be taking time, help people to understand what this assessment means to their bottom line, and then, if necessary, help them to appeal it. Mm-hmm. My neighbor or anybody else up and down the street, that you say, well, just go and get the 3 comparables and come back with a certified real estate appraisal of your property, and we'll look at it. Who knows what a comparable is, let alone where to find it? That people weren't helped to understand this is terrible. So
the other Democrat in the race, Capolini, he's the handpicked teammate of the boy king, Billy Gaughan. And so,
Billy
so he's not going to change anything.
Introducing the people, yeah. He's sending out thousands of, Billy Gaughan is sending out thousands and thousands of texts asking people to vote for Mike, who I like. Mike is an old friend, and I think he was a successful salesman in the field that he was in. But I don't think that he has the experience that I do in state government, and also working with the community like I have been pretty much all my life. But also he's sending out these, and Mike's a nice guy, but I think he'll be a rubber stamp to Billy, and I don't think we need that.
Well, let me ask a question. That leads me to the question, Tom Welby. You're a Democrat. Billy Gaughan's a Democrat. How do you work with him? He's the problem,
well,
and I think most people see that.
Yeah, he is an old friend, and I think that we can go back perhaps to the days, I hate to say it that long ago, but back to the days like of Ronald Reagan and Tip O'Neill, when they would argue perhaps all day long, then they'd sit down at night and say, hey, look, we got to talk this out. We have to talk this over. And we've got 5 things on the table. You're going to take these 2. I'm going to take these 2. Nobody gets the one in the middle. And we get things done. Maybe not everybody's happy, but maybe that's how you get a good compromise too, and neither side is happy. But I think I could work with Billy and also with Chris. They're 2 gentlemen, I think. And I think when push comes to shove, you if you're about to blow your stack, take a break, go outside, take a deep breath, come back in, and start working again. I think that we can work together, but I don't think we need a rubber stamp in there. These text messages are crazy. My granddaughter got a text message from Billy asking her to vote for Mike, and she's 16 years old, and she lives in Luzerne County. She lives in Norier. I mean, it's just
brilliance is not the boy king's long suit.
And this morning, I somebody just about half hour ago pointed out a Facebook post that I don't know how more ludicrous it could get, suggesting that if elected, I wouldn't serve. I mean, excuse my language, but how asinine would a comment? I have so many people that have put faith in me and a lot of money in supporting me. If I'm elected, when this election is certified, if I'm elected, I'm serving out those 2+ years fighting for what I think is right down to the very last hour. It's just nuts, Bob. I mean, who would spread a rumor like that?
Well, we know who did.
But it's insane. Can you imagine being elected and say, "Oh, I changed my mind"?
Tom, we've got a hard break here at 9:50, which you're a media guy. You know the deal. But sure thank you for checking in. Tom Welby, Democrat candidate for Lackawanna County Commissioner. Good luck in the debate tonight, my friend.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you. Bye-bye.
My Bacardo Jewelers watch tells me that it's 9:50 on the nose. The Beatles, they recorded their hit, I Want to Be Your Man, this date, 1963, says our man Murph. The Scranton Marketplace, the old mall, Lackawanna County, Lackawanna Avenue in downtown Scranton. They've been having these events, pop-up markets. This Saturday, they're having the Harvest Market pop-up. And I'm telling you, they're getting better and better and bigger and bigger. It's really something. And here's Kristen Powers checking in from Basiliga Hospitality Group to tell us about what is happening Saturday. This is a big deal, Kristen.
They just keep getting better and better.
Yeah.
So this one, we will have our last rooftop yoga as it's getting cold out, but that will be at 11 a.m. This one, we've added a petting zoo for the kids. That will be downstairs near the center stage, so you could come and pet an alpaca, hold a baby bunny, and I think they'll have a couple more little animals there as well. But the big thing that we're adding this time is a chili cook-off, and that takes place at noon, and you could buy tickets day of. They are limited just because of serving sizes, and we will have a judge's choice, people's choice, most creative, and best vegan.
Neat.
Yeah, and then, of course, live music all day from the Howard Gardner School Band and musician Corey Kaiser. And as usual, shop over 30 local vendors of farm goods, baked goods, handmade items, art, and more.
Amazing. So the indoor petting zoo's happening. That's a new thing. You got local testings from City Spirits, Lucci Family Wine, Black Cat Brewery, Deep Roots Hard Cider. How about this one? I got a kick out of this. The trolley rides, which are just over the bridge that's at the rear, 10:30, 12 o'clock, 1:30, and 3 o'clock. So all day you could take. And that trolley ride, I got to tell you, I finished it as county commissioner. It is fabulous.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I think that's one thing we forget to embrace and utilize is that the Trolley Museum and Steamtown National Historic Site are right out Scranton Public Market's back door. So you walk over there, jump on a trolley, take a train ride, and then come back over and get yourself lunch. That's daily, depending on their schedule. But then, of course, during these events, it's like a really great addition.
Oh, I'm telling you, Kristen, you're making them better and bigger and better and better and better. I'm amazed. I'm really amazed at this one.
Thank you.
Well, so
Yes,
this is
we can't
Saturday.
wait.
When does it kick off? What time does it kick off?
So if you want to come for yoga, that's at 11, but the main event is noon to 5.
Okay. And, man, I'll tell you, I don't know how you think of adding more, but somehow you do. And all of the vendors just keep coming back because they know there's nice crowds. Yeah,
so we have a bunch of the vendors from the previous event and then keep adding new. So that Christmas City Spirits, they're PA-based, and I was, trying so hard to find someone to come up here, so I'm really excited to have them. And then Deep Roots Hard Cider, they're also new. I've worked with them in the past, so it's fun adding new people in for the different, themes of each event.
Amazing. Kristen Powers, she is from Basiliga Hospitality. She is the person that is helping to make this pop-up market, the Harvest Pop-Up Market Pop-Up, 12 to 5 o'clock on this Saturday. And there's so much happening. It's going to be a blast. Thank you so much, Kristen, for checking in.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
And you make sure you do it tomorrow, too, okay?
Yes, I'll call in tomorrow as well.
All right.
Thanks again.
Thank you so much. That's fun. I mean, that's fun. Hey, my Bacardo Jewelers watch tells me that it's 10:01 and change. Well, you know what that means? It's news time. Let's go to the news with Brian Hughes. When we come back, we've got Tom Mosca. He's running for judge in Luzerne County. He's the Republican candidate. We'll talk to him about all of that and what he's up to after the news. great good morning, everyone. My Cordaro Jeweler's watch tells me it's 10:09 and change here in the great Northeast. This beautiful Thursday, October 23, 2025. This is the Bob Cordaro Show. I am he, and it's a big day. Every day is. To fight for America, defend our values, and with the help of our man John Basiliga and Basiliga Hospitality, including the Great Harvest Market pop-up at the Scranton Public Market this Saturday, to honor the brave who made us and kept us free. People like veterans we've lost, but celebrate today thanks to John, like Ronald Gossart, Ed Christina, George Butch Kassak, Joseph Bassar, Louis Forlenza, and John Rinko. So with history, our great founding fathers, and the incomparable Constitution of the United States of America as our guides, let us continue today's battle. Gaveling back to order this meeting of the Club for Common Sense, promising you that we are committed to common sense and thereby can provide for you, for the balance of the program, a sanctuary of sanity for you to enjoy, bathe in, and to just assure yourself that you're not the one going crazy. They are. All right, hour number 2. Somebody, by the way, Rob Bresnahan, and this, look at, you don't have enough votes to get rid of Obamacare. You just don't. It is the source of so many problems and the cause of so many problems. Just as predicted, if your health insurance plan has had skyrocketing deductibles and skyrocketing premiums and copays, it's because of Obamacare. Remember, Obamacare, the classic Democrat bullspit, the classic establishment bullspit, Obamacare was supposed to help us with our health insurance and health insurance issues. It has hurt us. And so the solution for the Democrat Party of today is let's have more government involvement. When government involvement, going back to pre-Obamacare days, was the problem. They were setting prices and artificially raising and lowering prices because the government would come in and say, hey, we spend 30 cents of every dollar. That's back then. 30 cents of every dollar comes from the federal government, and we're only going to pay this much for an MRI. We're only going to pay this much for this procedure. Well, what happens? It's like a balloon. Squeeze one part of an inflated balloon, the other part expands. And that's what's happened here, sadly. And now they want to make it worse. And most of the reason for the shutdown, yes, they do want illegals to get Medicaid. That's a fact. Anything contrary to that is a lie. But they want to save Obamacare with another $400 billion infusion of your money. By the way, money we don't have. Let's never overlook that. And so expiring tax credits for people who receiving Obamacare, that's the primary issue. Now, we're going to see how it's resolved. I don't know how Republicans deny it. I don't know how they say no, because it's going to hit a lot of people, this short-term subsidy that's going to go away anyway. Another one of our great COVID solutions that only caused more problems. So the Democrats caused this problem. Now they want more. Oh, no, we got to keep paying. We got to pretend Obamacare is working because it's popular, so let's pretend it's working. It's popular because people don't know any better and don't want to know any better, by the way. And another government program will continue to be subsidized even though it has failed. It's inevitable. It's going to happen. Rich McHale says, just saying, I believe the once brain-dead John Fetterman has recently shown a bit of brilliance. Just saying. I know. Oh, Lord. Bob, look how Medicare Advantage plans, somebody texts in, are costing more than the original Medicare. Insurance companies taking in a lot of money and denying coverage because of the government program. And by the way, the Biden administration stole Medicare Advantage money to give it to illegals. Yeah. There's no oh, geez, I wonder how this happened. It's all simple. Government involvement. It's simple. Hey, but let's go to something closer to home. Tom Mosca, he's an attorney in Luzerne County, and he is running for judge. He won the Republican nomination, and he is with us now. Tom, welcome to the Bob Cordaro Show. How are you?
Good morning, Bob. I'm doing well, thank you. Thanks for having me on the show.
Happy to. All right, tell me why you're running, a little bit of your background first, and then why you're running and what kind of judge you think you'll be.
Sure. Well, I'm a lifelong resident of Luzerne County. I've been practicing law here for the past 35 years, both in and out of the courtroom. Outside of the courtroom, I've handled numerous corporate matters, contract, estate, real estate, municipal, etc. I'm admitted, of course, to practice in all state courts within the Commonwealth. I'm also admitted to practice in the United States District Courts for the Middle and Eastern Districts of Pennsylvania, as well as the United States Court of Appeals for the Third Circuit. I've been given an AV preeminent rating by the Martindale-Hubbell Rating Service, which, as you may know, is their highest possible rating for both legal ability and ethical standards. And I believe that all of that is important, and a strong legal background is certainly important. But I don't believe that that's enough to be an effective judge. Relevant life experience is also important, as well as a desire to serve the public and a proven track record of dedication to the community. That's also important. I've been married to my wife, Andrea, for the past 37 years. We have 2 adult children, 2 adult daughters, Hillary and Tori. We have 2 grandchildren, 3.5-year-old Sebastian and 1.5-year-old Vivian. I'm an active member of my church, where I'm a Eucharistic minister and a member of our Social Concerns Committee. In the past, I've been on our Pastoral Council, our Stewardship Committee, our Adult Faith Formation Committee, and others. I'm an active volunteer in the community, and I have been. I'm currently the board chair of the Victims Resource Center, and for the past 9 years, I've been co-chair of the NEPA Task Force Against Human Trafficking. I've given hundreds of presentations both to professionals and to community groups, trying to raise awareness of the fact that human trafficking is not something that just occurs in the movies. It's not something that just occurs across the country or across the world. It's happening right here in our backyard in northeastern Pennsylvania. We formed this task force back in 2016, and I was there from the beginning. We have 11 counties. Our members include the Pennsylvania State Police, the FBI, the Department of Justice, Homeland Security, various victim services agencies. I think we have 4 district attorneys who are part of the task force now. Again, all of these entities were working separately to combat the problem, and we've tried to put them together so that they can exchange information, so that we can learn from one another and do a better job.
Really neat.
So that's some of what I'm about. I believe that being a dedicated servant to the community is important, especially since there are so many opportunities to be of service, and I look at it as a benefit for not only others but for myself. To be able to be association, the next judge would be serving, at least in part. So it's all important, and I look at the opportunity to be a judge as an opportunity to continue to be of service to the people of Luzerne County.
Tom Mosca is our guest. He's running for Luzerne County Judge. Well, Tom, that spelled it out pretty good. That's a fascinating background. We wish you best wishes on the campaign trail. Stay safe, stay strong. What is it? How many days left? Are you counting them?
Yeah, we are counting. My wife will be counting the hours soon, but I think we're down to about 12 days.
Wow, it's amazing. It's a different. Is this your first run for an office?
I ran for magisterial district judge in 2017.
Okay, so it's just a smaller scale, but the same thing. So get it.
It's a big county, yeah. But Luzerne County is a big county. I've been knocking on doors. I've gone to more fairs and church bazaars than I think I have in my entire life.
Yeah.
And we need people to get out and vote. So I would ask your listeners. I know this is an off-year election, and sometimes people have a tendency to stay home, sadly. But we need people to get out and vote, and I humbly ask them for their vote on November 4th.
All right. Tom, you could check in again anytime you'd like. I appreciate it. Tom Mosca, Luzerne County judicial candidate. We'll take a break and be back on the Bob Cordaro Show. Bob Dylan. Murph tells us he recorded this hit, The Times They Are Changin', at Columbia Recording Studios, New York City. I don't have a date on this one, but it's this date, sometime in the 60s. Bob Cordaro back with you on WILK. And, of course, that was Richard Nixon's lawyer talking about turning over the tape recordings, which had been subpoenaed by Watergate Special Prosecutor Judge John Sirica. This date, 1973, the beginning of the end. And Nixon was out by the following year. That's the deal. And look, he was stupid. He was really dumb, Richard Nixon. Fatal flaw, all that. By the way, our man Mark from Hazleton, he sent in to me a quote from Leszek Kolakowski, a philosopher. He passed away in 2009. And he said, in politics, being deceived is no excuse. Oh, do our Democrat friends need to know that? Right down, that's a fastball right down the middle for the Democrat voters. Right down the middle. Crazy stuff. All right. By the way, on page 3 of the Scranton Rag, they're distant pictures, but I'm telling you, to have the cajones, the arrogance, and the lack of self-awareness to open a pool in the late October, it's so insane. How do you vote for this woman? How do you vote for her? How is it possible? You can't. You can't vote for her. We need Jean Barrett in there. And sadly, Trish Biden, a great candidate. A Republican is not going to win. Maybe Mark Payne for council, and that's why I'm pushing hard for him. But Jean Barrett can win. And the people in Scranton have to know that it doesn't have to be this bad. It doesn't have to be this ridiculous. We don't have to spend $30 million for bike lanes and stop signs so that the mayor can say, oh, I was a progressive. Insane. You get gobsmacked and smacked, and they have the guts. And this stupid newspaper, they don't even ask. Well, Mayor, isn't it a little odd to be opening a pool on October 22nd? You couldn't get it done for 5 years? A waiting pool? Are you kidding me? Wow. Well, pure awful. Pure awfulness. Now, as pointed out to me by Mr. Paul and a few of my listeners, they've now, because for her event, now this is the woman, the mayor, who said, well, it takes a lot of water to fill up a pool. Because, of course, she's an environmental wacko, too. She's now, by the way, that's why they're all phonies. She's now filled this pool with water, and it's going to have to be drained so that it can be winterized. All for her photo op. The brazenness of the phony politics is scary. How stupid she thinks we, the voters of Scranton, are is even scarier. Wow. It's exhausting to even think about. Hey, he's been patient. Well, let's go to Andrew from Jersey. Andrew, we got about a minute, my man. Fire away on this New York mayor's race.
Yeah, the more cowbell. Remember this Ted Cruz, he debated Bernie Sanders, and the healthcare Bernie wanted more government, and he's like, that reminds me of the Saturday Night Live skit when the answer to everything in the recording studio was more cowbell.
More cowbell,
like,
yeah. I didn't know where you
more
were going
government's
with
not going to make it better, he kept saying. So the race, it was amazing how Cuomo pummeled him.
it was worse than Mike Tyson, because when Tyson would knock someone out, that it was over. But Mandami, it was not over. He had to keep getting up. And it was shocking because also the biasness of the moderators and the media, everything Cuomo was bringing out, they should have been asking him.
Exactly.
Like Cuomo said, you're a Democrat socialist. It says in their credo that you're against capitalism. You don't want people incarcerated. So that's the moderator's job, not Cuomo's. So that was shocking. And also, he's not going to work with ICE, even when it's a hardened gang criminal, drug runner, child sex.
But here's the problem, Andrew. Cuomo's a disgrace. Slee was the only good candidate in the race. And if Cuomo got out, Sliwa could win. And
right.
But that's not going to happen because he's a rockhead, Cuomo. So,
and also the caliphate, when he said he didn't want the world caliphate, but he changed it, and he said, I never called for global jihad. So he lied and changed it. And
he
also
just
they
supports
said,
the statement.
Why didn't you divest from, you want to divest from Israel, but what about your home country? They kill LGBTQ people. So those are all things that was awesome that he was brought out. But the moderators, they asked him like a softball, like to Biden, what ice cream, what flavor. You didn't really say that bad stuff about Jewish people, right? You love all people.
Yeah.
That's correct. I love Jewish people. You know, it was such a phony from that.
He cannot be the proud Muslim that he claims to be. The proud Islamist. Never mind. Let me not use the wrong word. He cannot be the proud Islamist that he's claimed to be over the years. We also played a little feeder to open the program of him and his various accents. He had an Indian accent. I mean, he's a phony top to bottom. It's scary. We got it here in Scranton, too, man.
He was the king of the fake accent.
Yep. Hey, thank you, Andrew. We've got to take a break, hear from our great sponsors, come back, do our Veterans Tribute. After the Veterans Tribute, a little weather and a little Unico. It's Scranton Unico's 70th anniversary party this Saturday at the old Genetti's up in Dixon City. We're going to talk to Mike Linko, the president of Unico, after all of that. Our Veterans Tribute this hour and every hour, this day and every day, brought to you by our friend and a great patriot, John Basiliga, and Basiliga Hospitality. Hey, not only do you have all the Basiliga Hospitality properties to go to this weekend, but they've got that great event from 12 to 5 at the marketplace at Steamtown. It's just awesome. It's getting bigger and bigger and better. And I urge you to take a trolley ride in the midst of all of it. It is a blast. It is a blast for children and adults alike. George Butch Kazak. We lost him October 18th. George, or Butch as he was known by friends, was born 1944. He was sadly lost a nephew and a daughter-in-law, but he survived by his wife, Beverly, 2 sons, grandchildren, a number of siblings, and many, many other family members. Butch grew up in Luzerne, was a U.S. Army Vietnam veteran, serving in the 507th Engineering Detachment. He raised his family in Morrisville and Fairless Hills, PA, while working for Ford Motor Company in Edison, New Jersey. After 32 years of employment, he retired and moved back to his hometown in Luzerne. George Butch Kazak. Joseph Bassar. He was 87 when we lost him September 23rd. Born in the Hanover Greens section of Hanover Township. He grew up in tough but good times. One of 10 brothers and sisters. As a youngster, Joe developed a notoriously strong work ethic. He delivered newspapers, worked at local farms picking produce during harvest. He graduated from Hanover High School. He got married to Catherine Zizzo Bassar. He left the area for the bright lights of New York City. He enlisted with the United States Marine Reserves for 6 years before becoming a detective with the New York City Police Department, where he retired after 20 years of service. Retirement was a new chapter in Joe's life. He went to California and opened a home repair business. After 10 years there and meeting his cherished wife, Carol, they decided to make a new start in Florida. They made a beautiful home in Fort Myers, enjoying their golden years. He'll always be remembered for his kindness, warm smile, hearty laugh, generosity, love of music, lifelong intellectual pursuit of American politics. He'll be lovingly remembered by his companion of 25 years, Carol Parks of Fort Myers, 4 children, his twin brother, and many other family members. New York City cop and Hanover native Joseph Bassar. Our great veterans this hour brought to you by John Basiliga. And a reminder, Steamtown Marketplace at Steamtown, 12 to 5, the Harvest pop-up event. Storm Tracker 16 forecast from meteorologist Joe Snedeker. Today, cloudy and breezy, spotty showers, 53 degrees. Tonight, partly cloudy, low of 40. Friday, a mix of clouds and sun with a spotty shower, 53. Saturday, a mix of clouds and sun, 55. Sunday, more sun than clouds, 55 degrees. Well, we talked to you about this Unico deal. And Scranton Unico, one of the biggest chapters in the country, is having its 70th anniversary on Saturday up at the former Genetti's Manor, Dixon City. And with us is the president of Unico, Mike Linko. Mike, welcome back.
Thank you, Bob. Good morning. How are you?
I'm great. Tell us, let's re-review this event on Saturday. It's just going to be fabulous.
Should be a fabulous event. This is our 70th anniversary of the Scranton chapter of Unico, home of the world-famous Unico Porchetta stand
Yes.
on Scranton Square during the La Festa Italiana celebration. It's going to be Saturday at Manor on Main from 5 till 10. We're going to be dancing to the music of Picture Perfect. We have a 2-hour cocktail bar. we're going to sit and reminisce about the past accomplishments of Unico and hopefully bring in more members and carry on the traditions that were started by men like Dr. Maldonado, the mighty Al Dante, and Sam Cali, and Pat Yanni, and a few of the other power brokers.
Great people.
As well as our friend Chris DiMatteo too. He's the guy's just a big cog in this thing.
Hey, Mike Linko, let me ask a question, and I had a lot of questions regarding this. I know if you're married to someone who's Italian, or if you're part Italian, you can be a member of Unico. What if you have no Italian heritage? Can you still be a member of Unico? I was asked that quite a bit.
There's legislation on the floor for a Unico National to change that because, I mean, one, we're in a melting pot in this country today. People don't identify as being Italian, Polish, Russian like we did 30, 40 years ago. And we want to try to, promote the group, but, I mean, with some limitations, So we're looking to hopefully change that in the foreseeable future. But for now, yes, if you're part Italian or if you're married to an Italian, we'd love to have you, and more the merrier.
And if, by the way, if somebody wants to hang around, they wouldn't be a member, but they could come and participate if they wanted to.
Oh, yes, they can.
Yeah.
I have a lot of my friends come over and help me on the porchetta stand, and I do invite them to dinner. So, I mean, it's not like it's a completely closed event, but, I mean, as far as, like, membership right now, it's limited to people who are married to Italians or of Italian heritage.
All right. Hey, Mike, thank you for all you do for Unico. Thanks to Unico for all it does for our community. 70th anniversary, Saturday night at the old Genetti's, Dixon City. And one of the great things about this event is that they're not going to have to sit and listen to a bunch of speakers either.
No, we're going to be listening to music. There going to be very few speeches going on.
Yeah.
I plan on getting on, welcoming everybody, and strike the music.
All right. Nice. Thank you, Michael.
And if they want to attend, just finish up, they could contact Chris DiMatteo at 570-499-1534 or myself, 570-905-5318. Bob, if you're available, please come. Bring out the mighty Ron Cordaro with you, and we'll have some fun.
Hey, Mike, if I want to just call Chris and aggravate him, I can do that too, right?
Oh, please. Then tell him I said you could do it.
All right. Very good.
All right.
Thanks, Mike Linko. Unico,
Thank you,
70th
sir.
anniversary, Saturday night, Genetti's Manor. Beautiful. We'll take a break. We'll be back. Oh, I love that song. Murph says Jimi Hendrix Experience went into Delane Studios, London to record their first single, and a great one it was, Hey Joe. This date, 1966. Loved playing the drums to this song. Bob Cordaro back with you on the eponymous program. Let's go right to the blower, and we got Greg from Sawyerville. Hey, Greg, how are you?
Bob, doing great, buddy. We're hitting the ground with the grassroots Republican committee, and it's going to be an incredible election because the Democrats have a couple $100,000 from outside money, and they want to bring back woke government to Luzerne County. And so it's all going to depend if our people come out and vote. We have 7,000 more Republicans. It's a red county. There's no reason why we should lose this election. And I know you had Tom Moscow on. He's an incredible candidate for county judge and a great human being. And he's been out in the streets, knocking doors, making contacts with people. And they really like him. But he's done a lot for families and common people as a lawyer. And I think he's going to transgress that right into the county judgeship. And you know, to him, it's not going to matter what party you belong to.
Yeah.
He's that type of guy.
Oh, Greg, let me ask, what can we do to get Republicans and conservatives and common sense people out to vote? Because we've got to vote out these ridiculous Supreme Court justices that are campaigning rabidly at this point. We've got to keep pushing out Democrats who are insane. How do we get them out? They don't traditionally vote in these kinds of elections.
I know, but I think Republican voters are starting to come around to the fact that we need to vote no on the retention of the Supreme Court state judges who killed the small businesses during COVID.
Yep.
And they're very woke agenda, transgender stuff. And, you know, families, they just don't want that in schools with their kids. And so I think the Republicans, with a 7,000 vote majority in county, we should win this election. And the way we do it is you ask everyone's got to get their Aunt Betsy and Uncle Festus out there to vote. And you can still apply for a mail-in ballot because it may snow and it might be icy in November. And
you never know. That's right.
So we're pushing mail-in ballots. I mailed mine in, but that's what we could do, Bob.
All
we
right,
could just keep whispering to all our friends and get the people out there, one vote at a time.
We got to go because it's Bloomberg Money Minute hard stop. But thank you and keep pushing, man.
Sir.
Appreciate it.
Tom Moscow.
We'll be back. I know this song, love this song. I never knew it was the Stampeders, so I needed Murph to tell us that, because this date, 1971, they moved up to number 8 with that great song, Sweet City Woman. And then, it makes my heart hurt. This happened in 1983, this date, that suicide truck bombing at the Marine Barracks in Beirut International Airport. In the end, that was David Brinkley reporting simultaneous to the event. It ended up killing 241 U.S. service members, most of them Marines. A near simultaneous attack, which got a lot less attention, obviously, here. French forces, 58 of their paratroopers were killed. Please, don't trust Hamas. Don't trust Hezbollah. Don't trust the Islamists. Period. Man, that makes me... And I remember it happening. And we're talking 42 years ago, and I got the same feeling hearing David Brinkley report that. Hey, so let's go to something less serious, but it's something that's right in our face, and that's some traffic issues. Brian Hughes is in the studio. Tell us what's happening, my man.
Well, Bob, there was planned road work on Interstate 81 southbound between exits 165 and 164. That would be the Wilkes-Barre Mountaintop and Nanticoke exits. And that work's going on until 4 o'clock. They were scheduled to do it again today. It seems like there's backlogs because of that road work coming southbound approaching exit 170, which is Wilkes-Barre Bear Creek. So construction's the issue southbound. Northbound, unless they added some more construction going in the northbound direction, which wasn't scheduled, it's a bit slow going from Wilkes-Barre Bear Creek to the Pittston exits. That's exits 170 to 175.
You know what I saw on the way up, and it was slowing traffic considerably on the way in?
Yeah.
There were tractors, I guess, that go and cut the grass.
Right.
And they were driving and followed, fortunately, by a one of those trucks that has the arrows on it.
Right.
That may be continuing.
It's a distinct possibility. I know they do that off to the side a bit, but it's still going to impact traffic.
Yeah. All right. Well, Brian, thank you very much.
You got it.
Yeah, traffic. There was somebody says, Bob, neither I nor my wife are Italian or have any Italian descent, but we did eat at Olive Garden once. Can we join Unico? You can hang around the Unicans. They're a lot of fun, and I can assure you this, they are great people. But yeah, we'll tell them, hey, I ate at the Olive Garden, but I think they would prefer that you eat at Regnacci's or Sibio's or something like that, you know? If you tell them Olive Garden, they say, well, no. They might actually tell you you can't hang around with us. But if you tell them you ate at an actual Italian restaurant, they'll probably say, oh, come on, hang around. Good question. Somebody on the Jimi Hendrix song, they said it'd get canceled so quick in this cultural atmosphere. Yeah, hey, Joe. But the drumming could not get canceled. Hendrix was great. He really was. Left it as age 27? Unbelievable. All right, we're going to go to the news because I look at my Bacardo Jewelers watch and it's telling me that it is 11 o'clock on the nose right now. The news with Brian Hughes. We'll be back after that. Great good morning, everyone. My Picardo Jewelers watch tells me it's 11:07 a.m. here in the great Northeast this beautiful Thursday, October 23rd, 2025. This is the Bob Cordaro Show. I am he, and it's a big day to fight for America, defend our values. And with the help of our man, John Basiliga, and the great Harvest Market pop-up at Marketplace at Steamtown, to honor the brave who have made us and kept us free. People like Joseph Bassar. He was from Hanover Green section of Hanover Township. George Butch Katzak. He was from Luzerne. Ronald Gossart, Laughlin, born Wilkes-Barre. Ed Christina, late of Fredericksburg, but he was from West Hazelton. John Rinko, King George. And Louis Forlenza, West Pittston. So with history, our great founding fathers, and the incomparable Constitution of the United States of America as our guides, let us continue today's battle, gaveling back to order with my left hand this time. The meeting of the Club for Common Sense, promising, because of our commitment to common sense, we will, in fact, provide a sanctuary of sanity for all of you. For the balance of the morning. We promise it. So we'll deliver. Huge story. It appears to be a very widespread scheme to bet and cheat on NBA games involving at least one player and one coach in the NBA, and also to fix various gambling, I guess, throughout the United States or at casinos or whatever. We'll find out more about it. Apparently it tied to Italian-American mafia. We'll see. We'll see as it unfolds. But reaching into the NBA, and by the way, it was coming. We know that. This gambling addiction of the country, by the way, and it's like, and I'll occasionally bet, but it's become an addiction. I mean, you could do it on your phone. Obviously, the old school, you do it with your bookie. You go to casinos that are all over the place, and it's not all healthy. Realistically, the thing that keeps me from betting is, number one, lack of spare money. But the other part is, I've discovered over time, I hated to lose more than I enjoyed winning. And if you're ever realistic, you know you're going to lose when it comes to gambling. But anyway, why did 123 members of the mafia supposedly involved, 11 states, 30-plus people, fascinating, that were fixing games or doing whatever, fixing NBA games, card games, you name it. Well, when we talk about something like that, we like to talk about something good and something great. And so that's what Mother Teresa is for. And our friend, Mary Regina, dutifully forwarded Mother Teresa for today. And let's see what she has to say for October 23rd. She says, do not think that love, in order to be genuine, has to be extraordinary. What we need is to love without getting tired. She's just great. Mother Teresa, Saint Teresa. Now let's go on to something that's really great as well, and that is the United Way of Lackawanna County. And we have Angela Bassani on the line. She's the new boss. Am I right on that, Angela?
Yes.
The new boss of United Way, one of the great organizations anywhere. Welcome, first of all. Second of all, you got big shoes to fill, but I hear you're filling them really well. With Gary Drapek retiring after all those years. Tell us what you're up to.
Hi, Bob. Thanks so much for having us on. I'm also here. I'll let her introduce herself quickly, too. Hi, Hi, Bob. My name is Dylan Colarossi Lucas, and I am the campaign chair for this year's annual campaign.
Oh, well, welcome, Dylan. Thank you. All right, so the
Yeah.
annual campaign has started. Tell us about it, guys.
So we are hoping to raise $3.37 million for our communities here, Lackawanna, Wayne, and Pike counties now, and we are in the heat of it. Hoping to wrap up near the end of November, but we have a really fun event coming up, and I'm going to let Dylan tell you about it.
Go ahead, Dylan. Fire away.
All right. So we are teaming up with Bailey's new location in downtown Scranton for a really fun celebrity barista competition featuring our amazing first responders. So it'll be the first week of November, and each team takes their turn behind the counter. So Monday, November 3rd, we have Scranton Fire. Wednesday, November 5th, we have Penn Ambulance behind the counter. And then Friday, November 7th, we have the Scranton Police. So the owner, Larry Nicholas, has been amazing support for all this. So all tips and beverage sales between 7:30 a.m. and 10:30 a.m. on those days are going to go directly to the United Way's campaign. And then he also sweetened the pot, and the winner, so whoever receives the most tips, will be getting a $250 towards a nonprofit of their choice. So it's really amazing. We are, we're bringing everybody together for one good cause, and it's going to be a really, really good time.
How neat. Angela Bassani, tell us what United Way does. A lot of people don't know. I do because I was involved years ago. My son is involved now. But tell us about it.
Yes, so we do a lot. We bring together the community, the nonprofits, those who are donors, those who are leaders in the business world and throughout, to come together to create change, to make life better for everyone who lives here in Lackawanna, Wayne, and Pike counties. And I kind of say it that whether you're a day old or 105 years old, we have something that could help you thrive in your life, whether it's a program we have internally or whether we're funding a program throughout the community that is carrying out, an agency and a program.
Neat. I mean, I remember being on the allocation committee years back, and various nonprofits would come to United Way. They would give proposals. Hey, here's what we're trying to do. We'd like this much money, and based on how much we had, we would either allocate or not allocate funds to them. But it really reached across the breadth of the nonprofits that are so vital to Northeast Pennsylvania, and in your case, Lackawanna, Wayne, and Pike counties.
Absolutely. I didn't know you were on allocations. That's amazing.
Well, I'm so old at this point that it's all irrelevant. Yeah, like 30 years ago,
Wow.
Yeah. Well, you always meet your goals somehow, some way, but that's because of great volunteers that work with you and for you, and obviously a great organization that United Way has itself.
Yes, and we're so lucky and we're so fortunate for the amazing community support we have. And that's what I love about Northeast Pennsylvania. People step up. They step up for each other and they step up for the community. And that's why we're joining teams with our first responders, because that's what they're there for, right? They step up every single day and they help our community, and they're there for our community when people are in need. And that's what United Way does too, right? We're stepping up and we're there for people who are in need. So it's a really neat partnership, and it really shows, I think, the heart of Northeast Pennsylvania.
Well, what a great idea to get them involved, because everybody loves our first responders. And now they're involved. And now you said Larry Nicholas owns Bailey's?
Yes, he owns Constantino's, and through that, he owns Bailey's, and he has been so generous.
Well, because
so
he's great. I mean, I heard that name, my ears perked up. Oh, so you got great partners here. Man, between cops, fire, all that, and Larry Nicholas. Wow. Well, that's great. I think it's amazing. I'm happy you're doing it. I'd like you to check in again before the event happens, and we've got different audiences throughout the show, and then we've got different audiences on different days. So we'd like to reach as many as we could to tell them about this. Give us, just repeat for us, Dylan, if you would. Repeat what the event is, when it is, all of that.
Yes, so Celebrity Barista down at Bailey's in downtown Scranton. So we have Scranton Fire coming in on Monday, November 3rd, Penn Ambulance coming in on Wednesday, November 5th, and then Scranton police officers coming in on Friday, November 7th. And then all tips and beverage sales go directly towards the United Way campaign. And that will be between 7:30 a.m. and 10:30 a.m. And then if you can't make it down to us, you can go on to uwlc.net, or you can Google the United Way of Lackawanna, and our website will pop up. You can go on there, see more about the event, and then you can also tip, whatever team you support the most, or all of them.
Nice. Well, thank you both. Angela Bassani, congratulations on becoming the head of United Way. Big shoes to fill, but I hear again that you're filling them very well. And we appreciate both of you coming on. Make sure we do this again before the event actually happens, okay?
Thank you so much. We really will. Thank you.
Have a great day, guys. We'll take a break. Bob Cordaro, WILK. We'll be back. We're going to hear from our great sponsors, a little history, a little music, and then we got Donald from Pittston. Joe Cocker, Jennifer Warren. Murph tells us they moved up to number 2 this date, 1982, with their hit Up Where We Belong. Great song, isn't it? And then here's how far back it goes. The disgusting, disgraceful Joe Biden at the center of this destruction of Robert Bork. And what happened is that they were just being formed. These nascent left-wing lunatic groups who were going after conservatives and conservative values. The first time it really came to the fore and that their lies worked for them was the Supreme Court nomination of Robert Bork. He lost in a 58-42 vote, cowardly Republicans among the losers, although the Senate was controlled by the Democrats at the time. It was an absolute disgrace, and they found out that lies worked. Lies that agitated people worked. And they're still doing it today. That's why I played that clip about the White House. And somebody texted in, this is great. Geez, I'm so confused after hearing that clip coming back from the news saying that the East Wing was being renovated. According to the morning show, Trump was taking down the entire White House. And this is what they're trying to pretend. It's the height of insanity. And I always say to people, when they've lied to you repeatedly about everything, like millions of people dying because of USAID and Doge. Millions. Don't forget the millions of Americans that have died. In fact, more than the population of the United States have died because of the big mediocre bill. So now the White House destroyed for the first time since the War of 1812. Trump might as well be the British. These people are insane. They're constantly lying to you. Just like Paige Cognetti, constantly lying to you. Just like Boy King Billy Gaughan, constantly lying to you. Mike Capolini, constantly lying to you. We had Tom Welby on today. He's a Democrat candidate for Lackawanna County Commissioner. I tell you, great guy. Chet Murley, those the guy we've got to elect. And by the way, just to show you, the architects of Biden Street and the Biden Expressway, Billy Gaughan, the Boy King, and Mayor Cognetti, they were together opening a pool with winter coats on yesterday. It's like, what? Are we that stupid? We can't be that stupid. You should be insulted. If you were going to vote for Paige Cognetti before yesterday, you should be so insulted that she would fill a pool for a press conference that has got to be emptied the next day to be winterized. And that she could only get a wading pool done in 5 years. Somebody said it right here, too. Ask Harry Reid. Well, we can't. He's dead. But he lied about Mitt Romney not paying taxes. Remember that? And when he was confronted about it after the election, he said, well, I lied. He said it worked, didn't it? This is their attitude. The same people, the same modus operandi. Frightening. Let's go to Donald from Pittston. Donald, how are you?
Good. I want to talk about these insane bike lanes, this $30 million project.
Dear God.
I have homes in Luzerne, Lackawanna County, and Virginia, so I know what I'm talking about. I was in the transportation business 30 years, and I go there a lot. So if you go into Scranton now, like Jefferson Avenue, it's tied up to Music Street. It goes to the top of Music Street. What's going to happen is it's going to be so congested, because I know what I'm talking about. You're going to go right up 307, right by Lake Scranton, the traffic where the banana truck went over, down.
Yeah. And
they're going to be going over to Lutherwood, into Bunker Hill and Scranton, Ash Street, and all those side roads in the winter. and then they're going to be cutting over to Mill Street there where the Naples is and all those businesses, and they're going to be where Shields Market is and Ricardo's just to get in South Blakely. They'll be cutting over to get to Clay Quincy and those other streets because of her stupidity, just to get to the other side of the expressway in North Scranton and up in North Scranton there in Kaiser Oak. This is a disaster. You could go right now if there's even if they're digging for utilities or a problem with a street like they had in July, the Scranton Times and 3 Linden, the power lines went down. It'll congest the whole city completely. Jefferson Avenue, even up Mulberry, they'll be going all the traffic now goes up.
But Donald, wait a minute. They're doing this in Denver and they're doing this in New York City. It's the greatest thing in the world. All the left-wing mayors are doing it.
Yeah, they have so much land there. We don't have nothing. In other words, this will go all the way up Mulberry Street.
Yep.
It'll cut into the traffic. Will be even blocked up in Arthur Avenue up there, right up to Nayon Park when she does this. It'll affect 81 and everything. I'm telling you, I was going to put an ad in the Scranton Times and explain the scenarios.
Well, don't give them any money. They're just a waste.
I know, but I have to do it. It's
you
so
come on for free here and explain it. Don't worry
explain everything. I'll send you a letter. Maybe I should write it to you and you can read it over the airwaves. Like what would happen?
Happy to.
Because I'm giving you a good idea right now, and what she should be doing, but they don't have the brain. They don't have the mind power. What you need to do to Scranton is first pave the roads, correct?
Yes.
And then you have to deal with storm drainage, like the engineers did with
but that's not
sexy.
That doesn't have any appeal. Just simply doing your job doesn't have any appeal for left-wing lunatics. It doesn't.
The Army Corps of Engineers solved the problem years ago, right there in McCarthy Flowers at 12 of Pittston. There's a storm drainage by Burgess Taxi off of Cedar. The water goes in there and it doesn't flood the streets. That's what they need to do around the city. Be innovators, not take care of the people.
I drove through the Kaiser Valley section. I drove through the Kaiser Valley section of Scranton yesterday. There's still houses condemned, and this mayor has done nothing about them because it's not progressive. Nobody cares if you simply do your job. It's
common sense, Bob. You can't do that. You just can't bottleneck everything.
Yep.
It's going to take just to get to the hill section. I know what's going to happen. You're going to say it's going to take like an extra hour just to get home to get to where you're living in the hill section. They don't know what they're doing.
But the good thing is it'll cost
all the veins. I'm telling you, Vine Street. I know those streets like the back of my hand, Madison and Vine and all of them, Pine Street.
Well, but the good thing is that it'll cost $30 million in order to cause these problems.
But it's going to, you're right, but it's going to go into, you're going to be up to the top of Ada Harrison. It's going to go right down Wheeler by Muskokies. I'm telling you, it's going to be a big cluster. You know what? And there's no need for it.
Nope.
Just concentrate, pave the streets, put the storm basins, and we see what happens when it rains. and get somebody in there that knows what they're doing. Because this is a total disaster. They go backwards. They spend all this money to impede progress in Scranton. It makes no sense. Doesn't she realize what she's doing? She knows the city. Doesn't she drive the city roads?
No, she does not know the city. She doesn't know. She doesn't know the city. She doesn't care to learn it.
I'll tell you a guy that did know the city, Wayne Evans. He knew every inch of this city, that mayor. He was a good realtor.
And our guy Gene Barrett can bring it back to common sense, and we could save Scranton from Paige Cognetti.
Oh, it's a shame we could have had Wayne in there. No, he could have saved.
Oh no, he was a great mayor. He was interim, but should have run.
He was real estate. He was like Trump, an innovator.
Yep.
He knew where the land was, what to do, what not to do. He's a brilliant man. But now we got this person in here that just wants to advance their career, but it shouldn't be that way. No. Like Fetterman said, you got to put country over party. You got to put the city over your political career and do your job, Paige, like John Fetterman said.
Amen. Thank you, Donald. We got to take a break because it's time for our sponsors. Then we've got the Veterans Tribute. We've got the weather. And if you want to participate, 570-883-0098. Somebody says they just need a bike lane from Lackawanna Heritage Trail to the downtown. You don't need a bike trail. You can drive on the streets very safely if you want to. It's available to you now. Oh, Lord. We'll be back. Our Veterans Tribute this hour and every hour, this day and every day, brought to you by our friend John Basiliga and Basiliga Hospitality, featuring this weekend, among their great restaurants, bars, and the movie theater, the Harvest Market Pop-Up at the Marketplace at Steamtown. 30 vendors, the Lackawanna County Trolley, that's going to be running all during it. Yoga, food, wine, beer, cider, music. It's going to be amazing. It's getting bigger and better and better. Bloomsburg American Legion, they've got stones out in front, and one of them says, "What is a veteran?" And I will add to it. But it says this: a veteran, whether active duty, discharged, retired, or reserve, peacetime or wartime, is someone who at one point in his or her life wrote a blank check made payable to the United States of America and its people for an amount of up to and including his or her life. Veterans we lost: John Rinko. He died October 3rd. He was from King George, born in Wilkes-Barre, graduate of Coughlin High School. He then enlisted in the U.S. Navy and served us aboard the USS Harold Ellison. After that, he graduated from Wilkes College in accounting, and he worked for more than 30 years in the General Accounting Office, specializing in defense procurement. Career highlights include congressional testimony, professional staff for the House Armed Services Committee, the Senate Armed Services Committee, and appearing on 60 Minutes with Morley Safer. John was a passionate musician. He loved woodworking, but his most beloved role was husband, father, and grandfather. He and his wife, Letty, enjoyed over 60 years of marriage. Surviving him is that beautiful wife, Letty, his sons, his daughter, his grandchildren, and many other family members. John Rinko. Louis Forlenza. He was from West Pittston. He passed away at age 85, October 9th. Born in Pittston, lifelong West Pittston resident. He went to West Pittston High School, where he was in the orchestra and the marching band. Attended Wilkes-Barre Business College and received a degree in business administration. He served us in the U.S. Army Reserves, 402nd MP POW camp, where he reached the rank of Staff Sergeant. First employed by Pagnotti Coal Enterprises in the administrative offices, he then transferred to the federal government with the Federal Aviation Administration here at our airport. He also worked at Capitol Airport in New Cumberland, PA, the VA Medical Center in Wilkes-Barre as a chief contract specialist. President of the VA Employees Welfare Association, 29 years with the federal government. In retirement, he worked part-time at the YMCA of Greater Pittston, worked at the East Mountain Apartment Complex as well as Gateway Apartments, serving residents there as a shuttle driver. He did that for 7 years. Former member of the Loyal Order of the Moose in West Pittston, the West Pittston Hose Company, faithful member of Corpus Christi Parish, formerly Immaculate Conception Church in West Pittston. Presently, and before his passing, a member of St. Anthony's Church, Exeter. He served both churches as Eucharistic minister for a combined 26 years. Lou loved people, and everyone who knew him loved him as well. He enjoyed painting, took great pleasure in keeping a great garden and yard. He loved all things Christmas. And when you got inside his home, it was a holiday home to amaze all. Soulmate and devoted husband to his wife, the former Lois Oliver, for 62 years. They were married on a Thanksgiving Day. In addition to his loving wife, Lois, he survived by his children, his sons, his daughter, 2 dear grandchildren, and many other family members. Louis Forlenza, our great veterans this hour, brought to you by John Basiliga and the Harvest Market Pop-Up at the Marketplace at Steamtown this Saturday, noon to 5. Storm Tracker 16 forecast, meteorologist Joe Snedeker. Today, cloudy and breezy, spotty showers, 53 degrees. Tonight, partly cloudy, 40. Friday, mix of clouds and sun with a spotty shower, 53. Saturday, mix of clouds and sun, 55. Sunday, more sun than clouds, 55 degrees. And that's the last time I'll read the weather, so I can actually put that away. Let's go to James from Harding right off. How are you, James?
Pretty good. Last Friday, I called in about Penn State, and I told you I was going to get a sweatshirt made up that says, President Trump, make Penn State football great again.
Yes.
Then we were talking about it, and you said they should make President Donald Trump the coach, but you know why that would be a very bad idea?
Why?
Because every time Penn State would win a game, the Democrats would have a federal district judge vacate that victory.
So they wouldn't be able to win even if they won big.
Yeah, I know. They hate him so much, no matter what he does.
Did you get the T-shirt made yet?
I was down 2 days ago, and I picked up one that got the American flag on it. It got a soldier in like black silhouette saluting, and it says, "I never met a veteran who fought for socialism." And then I had to make.
I like that a lot.
Oh yeah, it was a big magnet like that I got. You know.
Huh.
It's phenomenal. And back of the soldier, you can see the sun, like raising back of him.
Yeah.
But a shirt costs $25, a sweatshirt $25. But I'm getting that one made.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like it, my friend. Well, thank you, James. Always a pleasure. You know that.
So have a good weekend, even if you're an Eagle fan.
All right, man. Somebody texted in, bike lanes aren't the answer in Scranton. Pave the streets, new sewer system. The taxpayers want to go back and forth to work on time, not sit in a bottleneck traffic. The bike lane project is totally cosmetic and brings no revenue into the city of Scranton. It just chases the business investors that don't want to deal with unnecessary delays. And I've told you this before. The developers in downtown Scranton, they will tell you uniformly, and they've got to work with her, at least for the next few days, the next few months, I should say. She's been a hindrance. Her and her administration have been a huge hindrance to any kind of development in the city. And part of that is if you're a Trump supporter, just for example, Paige Cognetti's against you and whatever you're going to do. She doesn't care about the city. She cares about the left-wing lunacy. She cares about lying about Joe Biden. That's another one telling us Joe Biden was, he was great. Joe was sharp. He was sharp as a tack. And just a series of lies. And now we're opening pools in late October. Grand opening for a pool late October. And by the way, having the boy King Billy Gaughan there was icing on the cake. And Smurl, one of the three blind mice, running on a write-in or some damn thing. I don't know what he's running on. Please. Unbelievable. They've failed us in so many ways, and they want more. And they want more from you. Please, fellow voters in Scranton, please see through this. I hope you vote for my candidate, Gene Barrett, but Trish Biden's pretty good too. You can't vote for her. She's a disaster. Are you not seeing it yet? Just drive on the streets. Try to get in City Hall on a weekday. It was closed since COVID. Try to find out what's going on with your government. Find out how much. And they're required, by the way. They're required to have on the city website how much of the $69 million has been spent. Well, she spent it on consultants, literally, who hired consultants. And now she's got a $30 million scam to put in bike lanes and stop signs in downtown Scranton. By the way, no town of any size, no city of any size has Stop signs. Governing traffic. Period. I was just in Denver, as woke and progressive a city as you want to be in. They're not in the downtown. They're in the fringes of downtown where people live. And I don't even know if that's a good idea all the time. Crazy, crazy stuff. And the cost is absolutely stunning. By the way, we did cover, my man John Perillo texting in, he wanted to remind us, and we did play it, the anniversary of the Beirut bombing that killed our 241 Marines and others. And it was the largest loss, he points out, the largest loss of Marines since Iwo Jima. Thank you for that additional, John. But yeah, we did cover that. And it is a banner day. And I had said when listening to it from David Brinkley, the late, great David Brinkley, it still touched my heart. It still just shocked and horrified me because I remember it so well as a young person. All right, we're going to take a break. Bob Cordaro, WILK. Let's do that. And want to hear from our great sponsors always. A little Bloomberg Money Minute in the middle. And then we'll come back. That's our man Meatloaf. This date, 1993, Murph tells us he had the #1 hit in the UK. I'd do anything for love. And we're going to finish with Amy Winehouse. She released her hit Rehab. I love the song. This date in 2006. Obviously, prior to her passing. By the way, I just can't get to it. I've got to take on a couple of texts first, though. Bob, the bike lane idea is the West Coast liberalism. She needs to go back to Oregon, meaning Mayor Cognetti, and live with the wackos, says Chuck from Carbondale. Another, Mayor Cognetti must understand it's not about her. The job of mayor of any city is to make the ordinary people and working taxpayers' lives more affordable and easier to navigate everyday struggles, like plowing the city streets in the winter, public safety, street maintenance, not bike lanes that will deliberately cause traffic delays and prevent the taxpayers from making an honest living so they can pay their property taxes and rent. Amen. Somebody else, Bob, we have to stop these insane bike lanes. We're stronger in numbers. Start an online petition. Every little bit helps. We've got to vote the mayor out. That's the in-person petition. Let's get Gene Barrett in there. Let's get a real mayor who's not using us as a stepping stone and who's incompetent. He's incompetent to start with. All left-wing wackos are. Sorry. It's a necessary part of their ideology. Oh, Lord. Okay, back quickly as Amy sings on. The Louvre jewel heist. The jewels were estimated to be valued that they stole at $102 million, which means that if they break up the pieces, which I think are gaudy and awful looking, but that's me. I'm just, they can still probably get maybe even tens of millions of dollars fencing them as separate jewels. So this could be a big deal. He said, all these woke bike lanes, how about we do something useful like a ballroom on the courthouse square? We'll have more on that tomorrow. People forgot about, and our friend Gary reminded me of a massive renovation of the White House and White House grounds by Barack Obama, and the Democrats didn't care. Oh, what a surprise. Lord. I mean, I told you, if you're not a liar and a hypocrite, you cannot be in today's Democrat Party. And somebody brought it up. Well, why would you not be up for Tom Welby? Great guy, all that. I said, because he's going to support the Democrats who are lunatics. Running for Congress. When Paige Cognetti runs for Congress, he's going to support her. You can't do that. The party loyalty is too much. And we needed a new majority in Lackawanna County. And that's Chet Murley and our man Chris. Have to. Lackawanna County Commissioners debate this evening. We'll have some conversation about that tomorrow. We've got a few other things planned for you. We're always doing something. And, of course, we'll be covering the news. I do want to get into a little bit. Matt Burke back on again. We'll talk to Kristen Powers about this great event at the marketplace at Steamtown. Talk to Angela Bassani again about the United Way and this amazing event they're having with the first responders at Bailey's, downtown Scranton. All good stuff. Well, my Picardo Jewelers watch tells me it is noon. That means I got to go, no matter what I think, no matter what I want. Sue Henry show next. Rob O'Donnell show after that. For now, though, we've got to gavel to a close this meeting of the Club for Common Sense. I say have a great afternoon, guys. And God willing, I'll be with you tomorrow morning at 9.